Wow, that's our special guest today, Rene Jones and his lovely wife, Edie. Rene went from almost losing his voice to writing and singing songs that are topping the charts. He has just been awarded the Soloist of the Year award by the United States Association of Gospel Entertainers and Musicians for 2008. In addition to that, Rene was also nominated for Male Vocalist of the Year and Song of the Year, and he has a whole list of accomplishments that go on and on and on. Would you join me in welcoming Rene and Edie Jones to Rejoice? Guys, welcome.
Thank y'all very much. We are very honored to be here.
Great to be here. It's great to be here.
Have y'all.
You're here, Rene. What a powerful... I love that song, Rockin' on the Front Porch.
It's kind of catchy.
Tell us about it. Where'd you get that song?
Well, actually, the song came out of her head. You know.
Okay.
The title came out of her head. She I don't know what enticed her to come up with that, but anyway.
We're talking about, man, wouldn't it be nice to have time just to sit and relax on the
sit
porch?
and rock on the front porch.
And I said, man, I'd like to be rocking on the front porch with Jesus.
And so that's kind of where it stemmed from. And then a good friend of ours, Wyman Asbill, he wrote that song for us. And of course, we write songs as well, but he wrote that song. And like, it didn't take him overnight. He had it done and surprised us with it. It turned out real good.
Well, what a powerful message.
Thank
and
you.
it's kind of catchy because I was listening to it yesterday and I've been kind of singing it along, you know, rocking on the front porch.
There you go.
You know, I like that. That's good stuff.
It's a happy song.
But what about that song is it hit #1 on the chart, right?
Hit #1 on Christian country charts. Yes, it did. This was recently.
January 3rd.
January 3rd.
Now, this is exciting. You're hearing some exciting stuff, but I want to show you something, though. Rene, you just about lost your voice.
I sure did. It's been a little while back, but I couldn't hit my high notes, and I was getting very concerned. And my wife, we tried everything. We went to different doctors and thought it might have been allergies, so we tried that route, and then that didn't work. So what we did was we went to a specialist, and it turns out that it was acid reflux. And
He had like 10 times the normal amount of acid.
yeah.
Wow.
So, like I say, it's a God thing that I probably wouldn't have went to the doctor unless I was having vocal
true. He
problems,
doesn't
because
do
I don't do
doctors.
But we went and they put a probe in there inside of my esophagus to measure the amount, and it was like way out off the scale. And then the guy said, well, I'm just going to send you straight to the surgeon. So we went there and they take the upper part. You might want to tell them how to.
Yeah, I'm a
She's
nurse. So, they take the upper part of his stomach and wrap it around the esophagus and stitch it together so it's kind of like a hot dog in a bun.
Yeah,
And it kinda
so I've got a
keeps
smaller stomach now, and I eat less. That's good. That's
He
the only
lost
good
weight,
thing.
I
Work out
gained.
together for the good.
That's right. That's the good thing, because I've lost 14 pounds through it, but I needed to.
Well, you're still sounding good, though.
Thank you.
Thank you.
God has
I mean,
restored our
the
my
miracle
voice.
is there was absolutely no damage to his esophagus or his vocal cords. And 2 weeks after the surgery, his voice was back 100%.
Wow.
Wonderful. God knows how to take care of his people, doesn't
He
he?
definitely
He sure
does.
does.
And
He sure
sometimes he
does.
uses our bodies to talk to us. You know.
Because he knew I wouldn't have went to the doctor unless I was having problems, but that's another
That's
miracle.
one way to get his attention with his voice.
Well, you've been labeled the Christian cowboy. Now, is this something that started as a young child, or
Well,
tell us about it?
no, actually, my wife is responsible for that. She
You're responsible for all kinds of stuff, aren't you?
Good and bad.
Well, I'll tell you what, I couldn't do any of this without her. She is, and I don't want to make her cry because she'll start crying, but she's the wind beneath my wings, and she is just, I couldn't do it without her. She's there with me and does all the behind-the-scenes work. I just kind of show up and sing, you know.
Wow.
But like I said, she kind of labeled me that because if I'm not working, of course I work at Lifeway Christian Resources, and a great place to work. And when I'm not there, when we're singing, I'm in my cowboy duds and everything. And so I guess that's where she kind of got it from.
Well, good. It's a great title. But you always had the singing since a child? I mean, you always country Christian music? Or?
I started out, of course, like everybody in church, in the choir, and then I was always fascinated with quartets and with the bass singers. I wanted to be a bass singer, and then, of course, we did get in a group, and I sang bass. I started out singing bass, and then I went up singing tenor.
Really?
Somehow. But after that, that kind of broke up, and then we were having some other things going on at home. So after that, I met her, and she said, well, we need to get you to Nashville. And I'm like, Nashville? I've been in this house for 33 years. I don't think I want to move from Ashton, South Carolina, which is
Yeah,
where
they
I'm
have
from.
deep roots in the Jones family, trust me. They don't
Yeah.
venture very far from
But
the home place.
she drugged me up here kicking and screaming, but I tell you, I'm glad she did. I love it, and we've been up here, what, 16 years? 16 years.
Wonderful.
So it's been a godsend that he brought her into my life. And
Tell us a little more about that. You were talking about how that your marriage is viewed as something that people look up to and want to have a little more of that.
It's
So
just
explain a little
totally
bit about
blown me away that some of our nieces and nephews have said, you know, I want a marriage like y'all have. We don't fight. We've been married, be 18 years this May. We have not had our first fight yet.
the secret is, do everything your wife tells you. There you go.
That's probably been my problem. No.
Just say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, and you're good.
Yeah, Miles says he always gets the final word. Yes, ma'am. That's right.
That's right. That's right. So we have a very good relationship. The longer we're together, we almost know what we're thinking. Each one of us thinking. And I can tell when something's bothering her, or she can tell when something's bothering me, and we just kind of.
Like, okay, what's up?
Before the sun goes down, we're going to be talking, let me tell you.
Well, it's really a choice, isn't it? It's a choice to do what's right, and to love one another and to respect each other's feelings.
Exactly.
And that keeps a good, healthy, strong marriage, you know, especially in entertainment. You know, there can be a lot of pressures on that.
Definitely.
That's right. That's right.
You know, we've seen so many relationships break up through entertainment. You know, but we're a team, and we do everything together. God is always first in our life, and then we're second. You know.
Yeah, it's not about us. It's about God and about getting the message out there. So I've never been one to go door to door witnessing, but this is my way of witnessing. And Edie, I'll tell you that she's kind of the same way. When she gets in Sunday school, she kind of clams up, but then.
Yeah, I don't like. I mean, even at my job, when we have meetings, I don't say a word. I was very shy as a child.
Well, I can't tell that today.
Yeah.
She's come out of her shell a little bit.
I was very, very shy as a child. And prior to Rene, I was formerly married, and it was a very abusive relationship. There was a lot of physical abuse, a lot of mental abuse. And my jaws were broken. I mean, it was not good. And after I healed, I rededicated my life to Christ. And then along comes Rene. You know, we were a blind date. I mean, it's definitely a God thing. And he has just used Rene to build me up. And his strengths seem to be my weaknesses, and my strengths are his weaknesses. We're a good balance for each other. And when we're on stage, I am fine, and I come back down, and then I can't talk anymore. So as long as we're doing God's work, I am in good shape. You know?
Let me interrupt you because this is we're the day before Valentine's Day, and you know, it's a day that we take a little extra time to share. We love each other, and just with that special someone, and I hope you're planning to do that. But talk a little bit more about this, about, you know, you came out of some pain there, and how God has completely restored that.
Absolutely.
Let's encourage some people.
You know, all I can say to people is, give it to God. I mean, we have just totally turned everything over to him. And he walks with you. I mean, he holds your hand. He's always your friend when you don't have a friend. It doesn't matter if nobody likes you. I mean, you can be just as low as you can go. God is right there. He listens. He answers.
That's awesome.
You know, I mean, he's told us in the Bible he will never leave us or forsake us, and that's true. I mean, he has brought me through so much pain into just total daylight. I mean, it's just, I look back and I am so amazed at what God has done.
Wow.
Well,
I mean, he has given me a wonderful husband that stands by me.
I'll tell you something else. That she's very good in the studio as a you know, sound tech or whatever you want to call it, engineer. But she says, I think you need to sing that line over again. If we would ever have a fight, that would probably be where it would be in the studio. But God has really brought her a long ways, and I just thank God for her. You know, she's a blessing, and we couldn't do this. We're a team. So
you guys are certainly encouraging to us, you know, and to our viewers that are watching, that we, through difficulties, through struggles, we can stand and we can pursue as long as we put our hope and trust in God, just like you said. There's a song that you wrote called, or you didn't write, but I think somewhat Damaged Diamond.
Well,
Tell us just a little bit about that.
Yeah.
You
We
wrote
did.
it, didn't you?
Well,
We did
yeah,
write it.
it's kind of a team effort again, but our good friend Nancy Thompson passed away, and she and her husband Dave had been our lifelines in Nashville when
They've
because we have no family.
literally kept us in Nashville
Yeah,
pretty much.
we have no family there, and between them and Wyman that wrote our song, they've been our Nashville family. And when she died, we were just really crushed. And one day we came home from church, and Rene started picking this tune on the guitar, and I'm like, "What is that? Did you hear that on your gospel station?" He's like, "No," he said, he said, "I think God just gave it to me." He said, "I was thinking about writing a song about Nancy." I'm like, "Oh, we got to do the Damaged Diamond." He's like, "What are you talking about?" Because he didn't know that Nancy's husband had called me a couple of days before and read me a story that God laid on his heart. When he got up that morning and had coffee, and he said God was just telling him to write this song, and he's like, "I am not a writer." But he said he sat down and he wrote this story between St. Peter and God, that about Nancy being a damaged diamond, and that God had restored her luster through her relationship with Dave, and then he called her home. So, I mean, 30 minutes later, we had a song. I mean, God he gave him the tune and both of us the words, and I mean, it just poured out of us.
Yeah, the story is on our website as well. You can look it up on www.renejones.com. And you can pull up the story behind the song.
Yeah, there's a place, yeah.
And
read the story that Dave wrote.
It kind of tells of how they met, and all the steps in between, and they had some hardships and everything, like everybody does. But I think it'll be intriguing.
A lot of people can relate to that story. That's why I brought it up. You know, the damaged diamond, but how God can turn
is the
things.
refiner.
Yes, He is.
He
You're
is.
absolutely right. And you have a great new CD album out that's Rene Jones, the Christian Cowboy, Rockin' on the Front Porch, and you've got a lot more great songs. And that's one thing I love about songwriters and musicians, because the songs they write come from their pain and their joys.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
And Judge, they're not only, y'all aren't only singers, but God has taken you from like that as a damaged diamonds, and He's brought you together.
Exactly, 'cause I was
And I
definitely
was
damaged.
reading over all of the accomplishments and the awards that you've received throughout the years.
That's right.
It's amazing
all God.
what God has done in your lives, and we are so grateful to be able to share and
I
be
don't
able
know
to
if I have
experience
time.
that.
I would like to say, you know, that I work for Lifeway during the day, and they found out about us being on TCT, so they sent out a photographer to our work and took some pictures, and they got a little magazine that they sent out every month. And so I'm just really tickled that I have a company that's standing behind me like this.
We are too.
Supporting
Thanks,
our ministry.
thanks to Lifeway. Listen, we appreciate you being here today on Rejoice. And if you'd like to find out more about them, you can go to our website at tct.tv. But you're about to sing one more song for us.
That's
Tell
right.
us what the name of this song is.
It's called "Look What He's Given Me," and I mean, just look around. I mean,
Yeah.
we're breathing. We're
Yes.
here. It's just a great song. When we heard it, we just had to put it on our CD, and I think the audience will like it.
Well, I'm excited to be sitting here and hearing from the trials you went through to the testimonies. I'm excited. I'm going to let you go and sing that song right now. If you'll go ahead and get set up for that. Any of our guests this week, of course, you can go to our website at tct.tv to find more information about them. If you'd like to find out about Rene and Edie Jones.
And Rockin' on the Front Porch.
Rockin' on the Front Porch. I love that song.
I love that title.
But go there, and their information is there. You can click to find their website and some of the great stories behind the songs that they've written. I know that it'll be a blessing in your life. Wasn't this a great interview, Lori?
It
Hear
is.
the
It shows
testimony.
the heartbeat of what God is all about, His love. How He takes us, molds us, and makes us, and then pushes them forward. He's the promoter, and He does that. So all we have to do is have confidence in Him.
Well, you're right.